This year we decided to concentrate on renovating our 200-year-old coach house. And I know that a lot of you are probably wondering how much that is going to cost us. So in this video we have decided to break down every job and tell you exactly how much that we plan to spend. And if you're interested in the global amount, then stay till the end because we are going to be adding it all up and sharing the total budget for this renovation. And as a little side note, I'm going to be honest, I actually have no idea how much this is costing. So I'm going to be learning with you because Philip is the man on the budget. Yeah, he's the number man.
The man with the money.
I'm the one with the ideas and he's the one with the
money. The cash. Which is not true.
It's not true.
Okay, where should we start? I think we should start with the most expensive job, and that's obviously the facade. Keep in mind there were 3 guys and the boss working for over a month already, and they came almost every day. All the material costs and the machines and the scaffolding. The global amount for all this is about 30,000. That might seem a lot, but if you see them working every day, you understand how much work it is.
But I think that it's worth every penny because this is probably the job that is going to make the biggest difference to how this coach house looks. It's going to be keeping it in good condition for hopefully another 200 years.
Yeah, I hope the owners in 200 years still pay us some dividends of the... But look at it, look at it.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. The second most expensive thing, you guess? Anna, guess what's the second most expensive
Windows
thing?
and doors.
Yes, windows and doors. To change all the windows apart from these 2 doors, because these two doors are made by Benoit and me, but all the other windows, double glazing, glass doors, to the specification of the old doors, so copies of the old doors, almost another 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's another huge amount of money, but they have to be in wood because first of all, we wouldn't get permission without to do them in any other material. And also we want them in wood because that's what we think is appropriate because they should look like the ones in the Chateau, and only wood can do that. We
realised we have had a look around with Benoit, with the company that make the windows, and we've discussed it, and we figured out that actually having Benoit restore the windows wasn't actually any cheaper than having brand new windows, and they will be double glazed. And for insulation, it's going to be a lot cheaper than when we come to heating. It's an investment now, but it will be worth it.
And one more thing, there was a little bit of a controversy concerning the windows, because at the beginning we announced that we're going to board up the top part of the windows, but then we got so many messages and that made us thinking, so thanks guys, and we finally decided to keep them as they are, which also means that it's much more expensive. So if we had gone with our first idea, so thanks to you, everything is more expensive now. But I think, yeah, as you said, it's worth it. It's going to look stunning. And if you wonder why don't we keep these existing frames and existing windows, so first of all, obviously they will not be double glazed and all the rest will be double glazed. But the bigger aesthetical problem is that the frame, the glass frame, has to be thicker because it's double glazing. So we would have windows where one part has a thick frame and then the upper part is thinner. And we made some simulation, it just doesn't look good. So we're going to take them off, keep them for some other projects, and we just decided to go for new here.
And don't forget there were also some fees involved in the planning permission, which were 2,500.
Let's go upstairs. I need to show you upstairs what we've done and what we have to do.
And what about this staircase, Philip?
Yeah, I haven't budgeted it because Benoit always says, oh, it's not much work to repair it, but it's definitely wonky and, needs to be a repair. Okay, let's put in, if you do this, Anna, it's getting more and more expensive. We shouldn't have done this video because now you find so many little things that I haven't.
Well, it's just like as I'm coming down, I'm like, there's a missing.
Yeah, okay, let's say it's a day's work plus 400, it's about 1,000 staircase repair.
And also here, we're going to put some kind of railing, no?
1,200.
Okay, because I just added the railing.
You added the railing in a staircase repair, 1,200.
And there's also, yeah, here there's some missing rails.
1,250.
Okay, Benoit, did you hear that?
Yeah. So you'll remember what happened here. Safety first. Me and Benoit and other people helped to change the floorboards here and to fix the rotten beams and to support some of these roof beams. And for this job, material and workmanship included, we paid about 5,000 euros.
But it was, again, essential for the structural integrity of the building. So is this a job that we could have done more ourselves to save money, do you think?
Of course, I'm really good when it comes to measurements, and you're very good when it comes to carrying heavy things up the stairs.
So there are limitations.
Well, there are limitations. Yeah. It's no. I would not have liked to. We probably could have done it, but it would have taken forever, and it wouldn't look as nice as it does now. Same for the wall, for the masons. There's no way we could have done. It would have taken us forever. We would have spent a year. Even they struggle to. It's really hard. This is an old technique, but you need to be really careful with the mix that you apply.
So I think up here is a prime example where you can plan ahead and think that you can budget a certain amount of money for a job, which was just initially to reinforce the structure of the roof. We weren't initially planning to change out this floor. And actually the floor was in such a bad state that if we did want to use this space, which we hope to make into Philip's office, we would need to replace the floor. We're not going to regret it in the future. Sometimes you do have to just go for it with these things because otherwise, if you're further down the line, it will be a bit late when all the things are finished, all the walls are finished, the windows are finished.
And that's a good segue into the next job, and that's insulating the ceiling here, because in order to use this space, of course, this has to be insulated. And the way we're going to insulate it is by using wood wool, because it's a quite sustainable material, relatively sustainable, and it is really good for the summer. It keeps the heat out really well, better than rock wool, and it's almost as good in the winter, and the winters are not really cold here, so perfect materials. It's a little bit hard to work on. We used it in the Chateau, in the attic of the Chateau, and I hated doing it because it involves all the things that I hate. It's like measuring, plasterboards. So I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. It will take too long, and I am not good at it. I hired somebody to do that, a company, and they gave us a quote, and it's about materials included for the whole space, about 150 square meters, 25,000. There's no membrane underneath the slates, so what we need to do, we need to have a little space, a gap with air, so if ever the material, the insulating material gets wet, the vapor can evaporate and it doesn't get moldy. And then there is a membrane inside and then the plasterboard. So it's quite technical, it's a lot of membrane, all these things are expensive.
So this was a surprise to us, no, this cost?
Yeah, it was a surprise. I hoped it would be less expensive, but then I looked exactly into the quotes, and I know that these guys work really well because they did a house at the neighbors, and I compared it with other quotes I had. The plan is to get ready here for plastering by October, which means the electrics have to be done before, and that's where I come in, because the electrics, I'm doing it myself. It definitely save money. I think we save about, probably, if I do everything, about 7,000 to 10,000 euros.
So what are the costs for the electrics? It's just the material cost.
So I had I have a cheat sheet.
A cheat sheet?
A cheat sheet. What is it? Electrics, 2,000. That's
for all
super
the
cheap
materials.
for everything. That is super cheap. Probably it's going to be a bit more because you will choose some fancy light switches and stuff.
So that's including light switches?
That's including some basic plug sockets and light switches. Yeah. Or we get a good sponsorship deal. That could also be the case.
Well, aren't you doing the waste pipes?
I do the waste pipes, but there's also incoming, and as my super fans know, I don't do incoming, I only do outgoing.
6.
Plumbing inside, 2,500. That seems cheap, doesn't it? But that's just the basic plumbing. That doesn't include creating a bathroom or creating a toilet, because that's I can do. I can do that. However, I forgot to talk about the waste pipes. Jean-Pierre, the mason, helping us to dig out the trench for the waste pipes. And this came in for a couple of days of work, plus the waste pipe materials, everything about 4,000. Yeah.
And don't forget, one important thing is that this is an outbuilding that was never connected to any mains water or sewer system. So we've had to put all of that plumbing in, and the electrics as well, because the electrics were so old, they all need to be rewired and everything needs to be redone. So I think when it comes to the painting and decorating, that is one place where we can always save some money, because it is a huge cost normally in any renovation. And I've had a lot of experience of doing that over the years, so I will be painting all of this. And we're very lucky because we have a very nice sponsor, Little Green, who have always given us free paints for all of the projects that we've done. So that is one place where we can save a lot of money.
How much would the paint be for a house like that altogether? I say it would be about 10,000 in paint. Or maybe less. No, that's too much. 6,000 maybe.
I'd need to calculate because I don't know the square meter and what we're planning on doing here, but yeah.
6,000.
I don't know.
Just to keep in mind.
Let's speculate. Let's say 6,000.
Yes.
you got on your head? Have you been in the cobwebs? Have you been in the cobwebs? No jumping out the windows today, please, Ziggs.
Siggy, if you continue like that, I think we have to sell you. So you better behave.
And Philip, as we are standing here, I'm just thinking about one huge cost, and that is the roof.
Yeah, but luckily the roof is in really good condition because it has been changed about 25 years ago. And these slate roofs, they last a very long time. Let's add another 1,000 for clean the roof. No, 1,000 is too much. Let's 500 for cleaning the roof and minor repairs.
Is that with mates rates though?
That's, no, I think that's probably what you would pay because it's probably half a day's work to clean the roof. However, if the roof wouldn't be in good condition, that would be a very expensive problem. And I reckon for a house the size like that here in France, it would be certainly another 30,000, if not 40.
Okay, so we can be grateful that this job was actually done a few years ago before we bought it.
Absolutely, yeah.
What flooring are we going for? Because right now we're on chipboard. Are we
I haven't budgeted in any sort of flooring. That's a good question. I haven't thought about that.
I mean, we could just, for now, do it in stages, and for now just live with the chipboard. I don't mind it. And then at a later point,
because you don't mind it, because it's going to be my office, so how would you mind? So you don't mind that I don't have a proper floor?
Well, I'm just saying, if we need to keep tabs on the budget.
How about the same material that we have in the Chateau attic?
You mean the seagrass?
The seagrass type-y.
It is nice, but it's a bit of a nightmare to keep clean. I wouldn't personally go for that.
Oh yeah?
I would go for some wood, like a parquet floor.
Yeah, maybe some cheap floating parquet, because it doesn't need to be.
It's going to be your studio space, and then we can just warm it up like with some rugs or something.
Yeah, I think so. So if should we calculate that in?
Yes.
So 150 square meters times 25. Anna, 150 times 25.
I don't know. I have no brain for maths. I'm rubbish at maths.
Okay, it's too hot for this kind of calculation. But whatever the result is, that's the price. We're going to put it up here.
Yeah.
Oh, Ziggy just farted. Oh, disgusting.
Having a sponsor like Ferreo for this week's ad is helping us to rescue this building. But thanks to Ferreo, I'm also taking care of myself and my skin as I approach a slightly younger milestone of 40 this year. For over a year now, I have been using Ferreo products regularly, such as the UFA 3 and the Luna 4, as part of my simple skincare routine. I especially love the FAQ 202, which is a new generation of silicone LED face mask. It uses 8 wavelengths, including NIR, which is near infrared, to target signs of aging and other skin concerns. For me, it's helped even my skin tone, and I've noticed my sunspots reduced and fine lines and wrinkles. It's also incredibly easy to use. The Flexi Fit silicone makes it so comfortable that you can barely feel it on your face, and it fits perfectly for even light coverage. Right now, Ferreo is celebrating its birthday with amazing deals on their website. If you click the link in the description and use our code HOWTO35, you can get an extra 35% off almost all their products, even the ones that are already discounted. So now is a great time to invest in yourself and your skin for the future. Okay, so as we come down, this is where the future
sauna will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a little bit the elephant in the room, because I haven't budgeted the sauna yet. So whatever we're going to say now, it doesn't include the sauna, simply because we don't know if, when, and what type of sauna we will have.
I think we have priorities, right, with the building, and I think that it's likely that we'll wait until next year to put the sauna in, because otherwise, the budget has already been blown on all of the structural work.
But I do think, really roughly speaking, I would want to create a sauna for not more than 10 to 15,000. I think everything beyond that is not justifiable.
But I will be saving us some money, Philip, because look behind you. I've been cleaning these clay tiles.
Oh, fantastic.
I know how much you really love them. And
Didn't you film it? I think you filmed it.
I did film it. It's going to be for next week's video, though.
Oh, okay.
One of my budget-saving ideas is to reuse all of these old Temet tiles, these like old clay tiles that were originally up in the attic. I estimate, so I had a look online because I wanted to find out how much 1 square meter of these original old tiles go for, and it's about 100 euros. So I think that I am going to be saving us about almost 3,000 euros by doing this work. Now, I think it's going to take me 3 days in total. It's something that I feel that is important. It's not only keeping the budget down, but it's also going to be bringing in some character and, you know, history back into this building.
So apart from the windows, we have to change urgently these doors because they're falling apart, they're crumbling and they're all twisted. Benoit said that if we work together on them, we could make probably them for 2,000 to 3,000 euros. Let's say 2,500.
Including materials.
Including materials and labor, yes, if we are not too slow.
Does that actually save us money if you're helping him?
No, if he does it himself, it would be 2,000, and the fact that I work with him, it's 2,500.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to slow him down,
yes,
aren't you?
Exactly. The hinges, well, it needs to be massive hinges. I don't know where we get them. Of course, if you go to a hinge shop.
Is there a shop called Hinge?
Maybe.
I thought there's a dating app called Hinge.
If you go to Hinge, then we can get them maybe for a normal price. If you go to a blacksmith, it would look fantastic, and it's gonna double the budget. Hinges for that, I guess, and a blacksmith is another 2,000. So that's gonna be a big decision. Do we need beautiful looking hinges, or can the doors be beautiful and the hinges can be ordinary and hidden? Maybe. What do you think, guys?
I mean, are there
blacksmiths or from the shelf hinges and hidden? Okay, in here, what can we spend in here?
This is my studio space.
Yeah.
Well, it's my workshop space. So I don't think it's going to be too expensive in here other than the windows because, well, I think we're going to put a bit of insulation up here on the ceiling and the floor is going to stay like this. It's concrete. And it's fine for what I need. I don't want to have any precious floor when I'm going to be making a lot of mess in here. I do need a sink over here. So I'm going to put down here, this is going to be the approximate cost. I would like to get some kind of inox, sort of big industrial sink for cleaning screens and that sort of thing.
I have no idea how much that costs.
Yeah,
400.
I'm going to put a link. I'm going to put it here because I need to research.
Okay.
That's about it. And then I need to build...
Well, the insulation doesn't come for free. So
yeah,
I guess it's about 1,000 to make a full ceiling and insulation.
Yeah. Hey, Philip, what is the plan with heating?
So the heating, there's no plan yet, but I know how much it costs. I don't know what I want, but I know how to get it. And this is 12,000. For whatever heating system we install, 12,000.
Why is it 12,000?
Because I made that number up because I think that I feel it. I feel the heating, whatever we install, is going to be 12,000.
So it depends. What are the different options?
There's different possibilities, but I don't have the answer yet, so I don't want to talk much more than that. I think the important information is going to be 12,000.
That's what we've budgeted.
That's
going
to be.
We'll check in a year
yes,
or in 6 months.
I know it's going to be more or less exactly 12,000.
Maybe just building some furniture for me.
Yeah, but
we can do that by ourselves.
Yes, I didn't calculate in furniture because it never ends. But what we need to do is just paint over this wall.
Yeah, I quite like it in this very rustic finish.
Or actually, I even like the finish. Maybe we can just clean it, and maybe that's fine. The only existing wall that we can leave as it is, almost.
Having said that, it's painted on this side and it looks a bit...
Yeah, it does need a whitewash or something,
yeah. Let's go to the problem room. This is going to be my office. In here, we are going to have to put some insulation and a ceiling.
800.
800. Mm-hmm. We're going to need to repair the walls because we have quite a lot of plaster that's just fallen off.
1,500.
Obviously, we've talked about the windows. Then we have the floor.
Are you making them? Are you sure you make them? Are you sure you will go through with your project?
Yes. But we need to level it out because it's all uneven at the moment.
1,500.
For leveling?
For leveling, because it needs a lot of leveling, and then laying these tiles is really expensive. It's really time consuming. Yeah. So at least 1,500 for...
So actually, the money I'm saving by using the old ones, we're actually going to be spending on laying them.
Absolutely.
Almost.
Yes, it would be much easier to lay some more modern...
But I feel that there are some things I won't compromise on, because of course it could be that you say, that doesn't make sense financially, but it does make sense in terms of keeping the integrity of this historic building. That it's worth spending that extra money just to have a beautiful historic flooring in this building. So I stand by that. Philip, are we going to also have a staircase here?
I haven't budgeted that in.
We have a staircase on the other side, but I would have to go outside of this building and walk along the outside of the building to go up the stairs to get to you. I think we spoke with Benoit and he could do that in wood, right?
I don't know how much that would
But
be.
we need to, let's ask Benoit and we'll put the price here. This is how much a spiral staircase would cost.
I say 3,000.
Let's see whether you're right. So what about these walls, Philip? Because they are probably the worst walls in the whole building.
Yeah, it needs to be replastered, and I asked already our masons to give me a quote, but I suppose this is gonna be a 1,200, 1,500 job.
Because what do they need to do?
Completely replaster and take off the old crumbling plaster that's here.
Yeah.
Or we learn how to plaster ourselves. We could do that ourselves.
I would like to do that.
Yeah, maybe we do that.
Let's have a go.
Let's have a go. Do you want a door in between these two rooms? Because I haven't calculated in for that one.
For now, I don't think so. I think we'll just open it up and it will be quite nice. Again, though, if we went with the wood-burning stove for heating, I would definitely need a second wood-burning stove in here because it wouldn't be enough heat for both of the spaces. What's next?
The full ceiling in the garage. We haven't spoken about that one, the garage space, but it's just the middle part.
That's where we're going to keep all of our gardening equipment.
Yes, so we don't do much to the walls, but we also put a full ceiling in, and that's another 900 because it's a big space. And
the reason we're doing that is more to help insulate upstairs, right?
Exactly, because that's not going to be a heated room. That's where the two big doors are. It's just going to be a full ceiling.
With insulation.
900 if we do it ourselves. So there's one more thing that we need to install. Drain pipes coming down from the gutters. 2 drain pipes, and that's Anthony who's going to install them, our roofer friend. I don't know how much they are. I say 400 euros.
Are they in metal? Are they
yes. Do you think they're more expensive?
Yeah, maybe.
500.
We also need to buy some more hardcore to finish off this back part of the... This is going to be like a path, right?
Yeah, about 2,000 I would say, if we do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to know how much it is in total.
I know, because we haven't really sat down and done this, have we?
But now we have done it, and the total estimate for the coach house renovation without furniture but with the sauna amounts to 138,450 euros, or roughly $160,000. So what do you think? Can you renovate cheaper in your country? Did you expect that amount? Did you think less or more? And do you think we will be able to stick to this estimate? Please let us know in the comments.
Well, with Facade and accepted there is going to be big costs, but it will be worth it because we'll also be rescuing a historic building. So that's priceless, isn't it?
It is.